Hi friends, welcome to Unit 2, Day 8. We're going to be talking about the different summaries, slopes of lines. So we have 4 different examples here, and we actually just touched on these in the previous video. But just as a quick reminder, this is what we call uphill. This is when we have a positive slope. So visually you're talking about like going uphill. And then here we have negative slope. So going downhill, if you look at it graphically. So this is negative slope. And then this is what we call zero slope or no slope. And then this is going to be when you have a horizontal line. So this is always the slope. The slope is when m equals 0. And then for this last one, this one is undefined. So your slope is undefined slope. And we don't use m equals in this case because this m equals doesn't exist because you can't simplify by dividing by 0. So here, just kind of a way to think about this, slope measures the steepness of the line. Slope measures line's steepness, how steep the line is. If we have two non-vertical lines, they're parallel if and only if they have the exact same slope. They have the same slope. And then all non-vertical lines, all vertical lines are going to be parallel, as long as they're not the same line. And then perpendicular lines, if you have perpendicular lines, if the product of their slopes is -1, so what we call that there are opposite reciprocals. So the slopes of perpendicular lines are opposite reciprocals. And then the slopes are opposite reciprocals. So the slopes are opposite reciprocals. It means when we multiply them together, they will have different signs. So opposite means different signs. And then the reciprocal part means their numerators and denominators are interchanged or flipped. So the numerator and denominator are flipped or interchanged. So here, parallel lines have the same slope. And then an example of this would be if I have two lines that have the slope 2/5 and 2/5, or if you have lines that have a slope of -3 and -3, or if you have two lines that have a slope of 0. Remember, slopes of zero are horizontal lines. And then perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocal slopes. Have opposite reciprocal slopes. So an example of this would be if I have 2/5 and -5/2. So remember, you have to change that. Following this example, if I have, if I have -1/3, then that would mean if I take the reciprocal of this, then I have a +3. And then 4. Now 0 doesn't work. If you think about 0 is going to work in this case. So all horizontal and vertical lines are perpendicular, so I can't use 0 as an example. But if I use another one, say I use 4, then I would have -1/4. Another one that students commonly miss is 1 and -1. Those are also opposite reciprocals. Just because you don't see 1 as a fraction, remember 1 simplifies. Anything divided by 1 is just itself. Join me in the next video as we then use some example problems of finding the slopes of the lines and then seeing if the lines are parallel. Have a great day.